In this video, we are going to learn the last two stanzas of the poem Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. All of you take your book and turn to page number 26. In the previous video, we saw the first two stanzas of the poem, and in the first stanza, the poet brings out a naturalistic scene, and through the auditory imagery of the grating roar of pebbles, he shows the naked minds of the people because of their lack of hope in God and religion. And in the next stanza, he alludes to Sophocles, a great tragedian, and he says that he also would have heard the same eternal note of sadness in the motion of the waves. Okay, he would have also heard the human misery in the motion of the waves. That's why he was able to write great tragedies. And the poet tells that this hopelessness, this unrest, and everything, the darkness, the unrest, the lack of love, and all these things present in the world is because of the loss of faith in God and religion. Let's learn the third stanza. The sea of faith was once too at the full, and round earth's shore lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. The sea of faith is a metaphor. Faith is compared to sea here. And the sea was once too at the full, and round earth's shore. So the sea, the waters covered the shore completely. Okay, and it was like the folds of a bright girdle. Girdle is a belt or a cord worn around the waist. So he is using a simile here. Okay, like girdle, faith embraced human civilization and protected it from evil aspects of the world. Can you understand what I say, students? See, the sea of faith was like a girdle which protected the earth, which was around the earth, right? And it covered the shore completely. But now I only hear its melancholy. Melancholy means sad, long, withdrawing roar. So now the sea is withdrawing, it is going inside, right? So the sea of faith, which was once in its full tide, is now withdrawing, leaving people in this dreary, cruel world. Okay, retreating means withdrawing to the breath of the night wind, down the vast edges drear means dark, and naked shingles of the world. Here shingles refer to a mass of small rounded pebbles on a seashore, and it may also refer to inflammation or skin eruption. Okay, so let me read this stanza once again and explain so that you will understand better. The sea of faith, so faith is compared to sea, and faith was once too full, and round earth's shore like the waves, okay, like the waters, it covered the entire shore, and it was like the folds of a bright girdle. It was like a belt which was supporting the earth. But now the waves are withdrawing, okay, to the breath of the night wind. When the wind blows, the water retreats, isn't it? So what happens when the water retreats or when the water goes inside? The pebbles on the shore is now obvious. The pebbles can be shown. The pebbles or the shingles were covered with water once, but now they are naked. They can be seen. So what does this mean? It means the sea of faith covered the minds of the people once, but now to the night wind, because of all these changes, because of the theory of evolution, people started believing in science and not in God. They have lost their faith in God and religion. So their hearts are now naked, okay? And the world looks to be very dreary, dark, and cruel. Is it clear, students? So the feeling of helplessness is expressed in this stanza. Okay? Next stanza. Our love, let us be true to one another. So now the poet is speaking to the passive listener. Our love, let us be true. The poet uses alliteration here. Love, let. Okay? The consonant sound la, l, and let. To one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, to lie before us like a land of dreams. Here, the poet once again uses alliteration, lie, like, land. So various, so beautiful, so new. So, our love, let us be true to one another, because the world, which seems to be so beautiful, so various, and so new, hath really neither joy nor love nor light. Okay, nor light. Light here refers to hope. There is no hope. The world we have seems to be a land of dreams. It seems to be so new, with new ideologies and all, new inventions, new ideologies, lot of things. It looks so various and beautiful, but the reality is different. It has no joy, no love, no light, that is no hope, nor certitude, that is no certainty, nor peace. No certainty means it's full of doubt, okay? Nor peace, nor help for pain. Because when people lose their faith in God, they fail to love God. If they cannot love God, they cannot love people, isn't it? They cannot love their neighbor. So he says that, see, it's full of doubt, there is no peace, no help for pain, and we are here as on a darkling plain. Okay, darkling plain. We are in a dark land. We are leading, or the people are leading a purposeless life, swept with confused alarms of struggles and flight. Flight is the action of fleeing. So the people in this world are confused. They are struggling with each other. They are flying to another places, okay? Which means the people are restless. They are fighting with each other. They are moving from one place to another. They are fleeing and all. And ignorant armies clash by night, okay? So let me read it once again. Our love, let us be true to one another, for the world which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy, nor love, nor light, nor certitude, nor peace, nor help for pain. And we are here as on a darkling plain. So earth is like a darkling plain now, which is swept with confused alarms of struggle and flight, where ignorant armies clash by night. So ignorant armies, they clash, they fight with each other day and night, and when you ask the purpose, they do not even know the purpose. They are ignorant of the reason behind their clash. Okay, so what is the poet telling? The world is full of violence. There is no love, no peace, no joy, no light, no hope, nothing, no help for the pain. And the hearts of the people have turned naked. Okay, and why? Because once the sea of faith covered the entire shore. It was like a protective layer in their heart. So the people had love for God, They were able to love their neighbor, but now they have lost their faith in religion and God. So the world has turned to be a very dark place where there is no hope and light. Is it clear, students? So Matthew Arnold actually laments the decline of religious faith in this poem, but actually it is a lyric poem. Okay, is it clear, students? So there are two themes present in this poem. They are loss of faith in God and religion. It is the most important theme present in this poem. Okay, loss of faith in God and religion, and love as the last solace. The poet is asking his wife to, or he's telling that they should love each other truly. So the poet says that love is the last solace, and he speaks about the loss of faith in God and religion. So if you are asked to write about the theme loss of faith in God and religion with reference to the poem Dover Beach, in the introduction part you have to mention about the changes which took place during the Victorian era, the Industrial Revolution and Charles Darwin's publication of The Origin of Species and all. You have to just mention it, and then you have to write your answer quoting from the poem. Is it clear, students? This is a very important poem. You have only 5 poems, and it is mandatory for you to understand, learn, and make your own essay of these 5 poems. Okay, when you write your own essay, don't forget to quote from the poem. Quoting from the poem is very important. If you do not quote, you won't get marks, right? So please go through it. That's all for today's class, students. Thank you.